Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. With the new year officially upon us, we're excited to talk about construction technology trends on the horizon. My name is Megan Billingsley. I'm with Construction Dive's Studio ID team, and I'll be your moderator today. Before we get started, let's go through some quick tips to make sure your webinar experience is the best it can be. At the bottom of your screen are resizable and movable application widgets. Feel free to move them around to make the most out of your desktop space. The slides will advance automatically during the presentation. If you need to enlarge them, simply click the Enlarge Slides button in the top right corner of the presentation window. If you need technical assistance, click the Help widget in the bottom left corner at any time. As the presentation gets underway, you may submit questions using the Q&A widget. We will answer as many questions as we can at the end of the presentation. If a more informative answer is needed, or if we run out of time before we answer your question, we will follow up via email. After today's presentation, you will receive a link with on-demand access to the webinar, so you can watch it again at any time. To get things started, I'd like to welcome today's panelists. First, meet Jason Janicki. He's the COO at OpenAsset, the leading digital asset management solution for AEC and real estate firms. Jason, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Jason. I joined OpenAsset about 11 years ago as the first U.S. employee. The company was founded in London in 2004. Our office here in New York opened in 2010. That's where I'm located. Today, we work with about 750 clients across the globe, and about 550 of those clients are here in the U.S. In addition to serving as the COO, I also help manage the client success team here at OpenAsset that's responsible for our customer base. I've worked closely with our clients for the last decade, and I'm excited to chat about what we've been hearing from them in terms of tech trends.
Great, Jason, thank you. Also joining us today is Denise Duffy, Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Clune Construction, based in Chicago. Denise, would you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Of course. Hi, everyone. Happy to join you today. As the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Communications at Clune, I co-lead a team of 15 across the country. Clune has 6 offices across the U.S., and I'm responsible for marketing communications plans and initiatives across all of the offices. Before joining Clune in 2013, I worked with Perkins & Will and Thornton Tomasetti in marketing roles. I think I joined Clune at the right time. I've been able to help build out a lot of the technology and the tools that we use in the marketing department today.
Great, Denise. Thank you. We're glad to have you here today. And now to meet our final panelist, Christian Berger. Christian, would you tell us about yourself?
Sure. Christian Berger. I'm president of Berger Consulting Group. We are a management IT consulting firm based in Chicago also. But we work around the U.S. with construction firms on IT strategy, software selection, software implementation. Been in business 25 years, and I was with FMI, the consulting firm prior to that. So I've spent most of my career in the construction marketplace and have watched the industry transform into more of a digital workplace and with more automation, more tools, but also struggle with some of those same process changes. So I'm excited about today's topics, both trends and challenges the industry is facing.
Thank you, Christian. Today's discussion is going to be a great one. As I mentioned, we'll be talking about technology trends in construction. As we move further into 2022, the construction industry is facing challenges unlike ever before. As we all know, the past 2 years have been anomalies when it comes to statistics and expectations in the construction industry, which makes it difficult to tell what the future may hold and makes it even harder to prepare. So today we're going to hear different perspectives from these experts on what 2022 will bring to construction in terms of technology. Jason is also going to share highlights from a recent survey of the AEC community, so you can see how your construction company compares with your peers when it comes to technology and future plans. And lastly, we'll leave time for you to ask our panelists some questions at the end of the webinar. So Jason, let's start by talking about the survey OpenAsset released in October. I think that'll help set the stage for the trends that we'll discuss today.
Sure. Yeah, it's a great way to start. We polled about 500 professionals from the AEC community a few months ago to find out what they anticipate in terms of technology trends moving forward.
And do you know how many of those 500 were contractors or construction companies?
Yeah, good question. 235 of those professionals were contractors or construction companies.
Awesome. Thank you. So tell us about some of the takeaways.
Yeah, first, I think it's important to note that most contractors believe their company's in a position to grow this year, which is a great sign. 202 out of the 235 contractors surveyed agreed or strongly agreed with that statement. Another noteworthy takeaway that our audience might find interesting, this year, only 15% of contractors say that their teams are operating 100% on site. And that one jumped out to me, actually. We're seeing a large mix of hybrid and fully remote offices within the AEC community, and it holds true within construction as well. And interestingly, although they plan to support hybrid or remote work, more than half also anticipate challenges that come from that remote and hybrid work-life balance. I know we'll talk more about that later. Other challenges that were frequently mentioned include a lack of resources, meeting tight deadlines, winning new business. And from my point of view, these are all challenges that can be managed with the right technology. The majority of companies we surveyed seem to be making that tech connection because over 81% of construction firms told us they plan to implement tech this year to overcome these challenges. And when we asked what types of tech they were considering, we got a wide variety of answers, everything from ERP and CRM systems to marketing automation tools, 3D printing, virtual and augmented reality, robotics, drones. It's cool. It's exciting to see some of these technologies start to move into the mainstream. And I think these results show that construction companies are starting to change the way they work.
Those are great insights, Jason, and very impactful statistics that paint a real picture of where most contractors and construction firms are in terms of technology right now. Christian, given your background and consulting role, how does this information align with what you see from clients?
I'm definitely seeing the interest level in change pick up. We have a lot of clients that are in varying stages of new ERP, new CRM, HR solutions. I mean, just a plethora of new technology. There's a few other trends, though, that I would say are happening at the same time that are being influential here. One would be, in my opinion, contractors are starting to change the way they staff for IT. That's a fairly important measure because without the proper staffing from IT, then all these changes to new solutions become more difficult if you don't make the change. And contractors used to have a lot of infrastructure type personnel in their IT department, not process people, software people, that sort of thing. So that migration has changed. I think Denise is very positioned in some ways is new and in construction firms and super valuable. So we're seeing more and more companies putting in personnel in director of innovation roles, in a process management, business analyst kind of roles. So I think that's a fairly good thing. One of the other big changes I would say in our industry is the movement of capital into the industry. We're seeing a lot of money coming in from all different places. Some of the big publicly traded companies, private equity companies, angel startup kind of things. So we have more